before I get back into changes to expect on tea, I thought I'd show you guys what injectable tea and the needle will look like, might look like for you. I used to get it in this little vial here. I would get it in a 1-dose vial. I would get 2 of those per month when I went to pick them up, and it looks something like this. And so I'd get 2 of those a month, and I would inject one every other week, so I'd inject twice a month. And my pharmacy just got me a generic version of the same tea, so it's less money for me. Yay! And here you go. So I'm injecting using this now instead. And I use a 3 milliliter 21 gauge needle. I have to inject, today is my injection day, so don't fear that I'm like exposing germs and stuff, because I will be using this in a few minutes. So as you can see, it looks fairly long and intimidating, but it's not too bad. Really, it's not. So I will be be injecting 1 milliliter of that. There you go. And so back to the changes. I talked about where I left off was the redistribution of fat. And then also, obviously, it deepens the voice. This will be different for everyone. Some people will not experience much of a change. Some people will turn into Barry White. It really depends on, you know, so many different factors. Genetics, your body type, just tons of different kinds of things can affect this. So, you know, don't get your hopes up that you're going to have like this really deep voice, because it might not happen. But let's see. The infamous one that that circulates about on the internet that people don't like to talk about directly. What goes on downstairs? All right. I'm gonna try not to turn red here. There's this thing called the clitoris that female-bodied people have. It can be very hard to find sometimes because it's fairly small. Once you take tea, it's not going to be as small. You're not going to grow like a 4-inch like penis or anything. You will not. But it usually doesn't get more than 3 inches long. Generally speaking, it's usually about 1 inch to 2 inches. 3 inches is really like super tranny cock we're talking about if it's like really long. It looks like a little tiny penis. So yeah, that's what will go on downstairs. Your first noticeable change after your first shot, you will not notice any hair growth, you will not notice a deeper voice, etc. But your first thing you might notice, I noticed within the first few days, was an increase of libido. You will get hornier. Usually. Like I said, this is different for everyone. Yeah, your periods will eventually stop. That's usually a good thing, but within a year or so, the doctor will have to do regular checkups on that area, because stopping your period without removing the organs might lead to cancer and cysts, ovarian cysts and stuff like that. So you should keep getting checked out, even though it might be uncomfortable. It's necessary for your health. Acne. Acne's horrible. We all know it's horrible. It happens to some guys, it doesn't happen to others. It's happened to me. It sucks. I'm gonna go see a dermatologist as soon as possible so I can try and get rid of this, because I'm tired of looking like a 16-year-old when I'm 23. But, yeah. It could happen, for you, it might not. It could get a little bad, it could get really bad. It all depends on the person. Your doctor will say, if you take testosterone, you could go bald. This really depends on your genetics. I haven't gone bald yet, but you never know. But it really depends on your genetics. Liver and cholesterol levels and stuff like that, it can increase your cholesterol, it can increase your liver function, which are things that could be bad if they get too high. So another reason why you need to get regular blood tests and checkups. You'll probably get hungrier. I know I've got a voracious, I've got a big appetite now. Huge appetite. And that can lead to weight gain. So, testosterone T will not make your boobs disappear. There might be some slight shrinkage, but that can be coupled, some shrinkage can be linked with binding and working out as well, but they won't disappear. Trust me, I hoped, but they didn't happen. Yeah. Like I said before, you're not going to grow a full-on penis. Unfortunately. It's just not going to happen. Right. You're not going to have changes overnight. It's completely unlikely. You might not even have changes within the first month or so. It can be a slow process, again, depending on the person. You cannot see changes within the first 3-4 months, or you could have changes within the first few weeks. It really depends on I'm stressing this because I really don't want people to think that I'm speaking for the entire community. This is just my experiences coupled with information that I have picked up. You will not grow muscles unless you do something about it. You need to work out in order to gain this muscle mass that you have the potential for once you start taking testosterone. However, it does get easier to do these exercises, to lift weights and such. Once you start testosterone, it can get easier, and it will be easier to pick up where you left off if you start working out. So I'm probably going to make a third one, which is things that you didn't expect when taking T.